show you guys how to prepare a go bag. Now, what would you even need this for, first and foremost? Well, go bag could be for like natural disaster, a fire, an earthquake, a tornado, a hurricane. Like if you need to flee your home for any reason, this should be pretty much a backpack that's filled with essentially everything that you need in it already, ready to go. The only thing that I don't have in here that I would add in here to mine is some of my documents, which I don't have in here right now because I'm going to need them for something else soon. Taco Canada, Trump's new wall. What's Trump's new wall? Like such a random message to send in. But let's start off. So first off, this is actually a multi-piece backpack in that it opens sideways and top down. But as we said earlier, make sure to keep your zippers at the very top so that you don't have to fiddle around and try and find them in the dark. On the side here, I have these on the side because this is supposed to be a side pocket. So I'll start with these ones because there's going to be the least interesting stuff in this side pocket here. So yeah, don't have like the fear of not having a perfect med kit delay getting one. The best med kit is the one that you carry. And same with a go bag. I put this stuff together slowly over time. Realistically, like all I started out with from this kit was two things, and that was a map and water purification tablets. Everything else came after. Now, one thing that I really think that you should all invest in is like this. This is a Faraday bag. Now, this is a bag in which you put electronics such as a tablet, a phone, a laptop, your smartphone, your smartwatch, your car keys, your credit cards, your like anything that has any kind of electronic signal. It goes into this bag. The bag is then honestly like really I put them in another bag and then in this bag if we're being real here. Can't put my pacemaker in there, unfortunately not. But you can put a lot of the other electronics that are trackable, for example. Now, if I was going to put like my phone in here, I would also put it into a second case, a second Faraday bag, and then put it inside this one because these can leak. And the way this seals is there is a magnetic seal at the top. So fold it in, magnetic seal locks it into place, and then clips it in. Thank you, Papery to Carry for the follow. Much appreciated. Now, having that in your bag here is important. The only other thing I have in here is like an extra pack of masks, which I already have an extra of in here anyway, so doesn't necessarily so then we get into some of the like actual important stuff to have in your go bag. First and foremost, invest. Actually, here's my other Faraday bag. Invest in a map. A map. It's fucking crucial. The map here that I have is a like map of the like country of Australia, the whole country. But it is a map in which I can see the actual like main roads and streets even down on a state level, and so it's important. In fact, if you're going to buy a map like this, I suggest you get a couple, share some with your friends. Maybe you find a couple of your friends that are willing to, I don't know, work this out with you, where, you know, you open your map and you will all sit down with each other and you will circle a meeting place on all of your maps so that in case, let's say, the power went out and there was a natural disaster, you would all have a meeting place that you would know beforehand that you could go to. I would also recommend just like drawing in Sharpie a circle around like where your like friends or family or your parents' houses or your safe house or just like places that you know, key places that you'd want to be aware of in this preset already. Like you'll want to have these well beforehand. Now, on top of that, more stuff that I have in here. Another Faraday bag. This is just like an adult rain poncho. It's a big backpack and I don't have all that much shit in it, so you know what? Fuck it, why not? Poncho in case it rains. Better than not having anything for the rain. Some, glow sticks. These are really great for illuminating the space around you when you don't actually want to be using a flashlight, when you're trying to, remain hidden, or even just like if you're camping somewhere and you are trying to read and you don't want to make too much light. Let's say you're camping somewhere where you're not sure that you're allowed to be camping. Not to say that you're doing something illegal. I would never dream of telling you guys to do anything illegal, but let's say you are not sure. Like it's dark where you have to leave your house, the storm or the fire or whatever it is, and you don't know where you are and you don't know if you're allowed to sleep there. Well, if you have your sleeping bag and your emergency tent and all that shit set up, and you want a light in there, well, these are a great way to go about doing that. These are also a great method of laying tracks for yourself. Let's say if you're wandering in the woods at night and you don't want to get lost, you can drop one of these every now and again so that you know where you are. Other than that, you're going to want some rope. Now, ideally, you're going to want thicker rope than this. I probably should be getting some as well. But, you know, rope, better than nothing. This can be used to make a pulley. This could be used for a lot of things. Like, rope is fucking useful. And honestly, paracord, exactly. Even if you don't know how to tie a knot, sure, you can figure it out in a case where you need to. Binoculars, quite useful. Especially when we're talking about, like, if you need to leave and you need to be looking for danger. Well, there's these. But also, if you're looking for water sources, let's say you move up onto a high ground, you can pull out your binoculars and look for paths down the hill or down the mountain or whatever the hell you are, but also paths to water. Another thing that you'll probably want to have, and a lot of this stuff does come all together. I mean, like, you could just buy a shitty, like, survivalist kit, at, like, I don't know, I haven't been to America in too long. What's, like, a random sportswear store? We used to have Models when I was a kid. That was the, sports store. But, you can buy one of these. This is a, disassemblable spade, and Dick's Sporting Goods has decent survival gear. That too. On the bottom of here, you actually have a compass, which is nice. And here we have the serrated edge of the spade, as well as a bottle opener. Tactical shovel. It's important to have one of these because even if you're like, even if we're just talking about like putting down a tent, you're still gonna want to have some of this stuff. Is this an ad? No, it's not. I don't do ads or sponsors. But I don't know. I will tell you to buy shit wherever you can find it that's cheap and usable. Oh, thanks for the follow. So that's some of the main tools, at least in what I consider this main pocket of my bag. This would be where I would keep most of these things, so I'll put these back in right now. Is my map again. Map. This, like, when I started building this bag, this right here was the first thing that I bought. That's a pretty weak tactical shovel, no offense, none taken. It's pretty trash. But, you know, it's better than not having one at all. Tactical shovel duel, let's go. Hell yeah. Show me yours. I want to see your shovel. And then, you know, your rope. And don't forget your Faraday bags. These are actually fucking invaluable. You need one of those heavy-duty Russian ones? I would never fucking sully my go bag with anything of Russian origins. Now, then, I have the outer bag here, the outer pocket of the bag. This is my general, like, where I keep all of my med shit. So, like, you don't need all of the stuff that I have in here. This is like spares that I don't fit into my actual med kit. Why not just call 911? Well, one, you can't always do that. The example that I used in like why you would need this go bag is, let's say there is a major like emergency. There's an earthquake, there's a fire, there's a hurricane. Emergency responders might not be able to get to you. You might need to leave your house because it might be in danger. This is the bag that you would have all of your stuff in, ready to go. Again, the only thing I don't currently have in here that I would want in here is my like folder of documents, like folder of documents, which is I would just throw in here and I'd be good to go. The medkit wise, you can't. You need this, and you can't call 911 because well, this is built for protection from the police. If you called 911, that would be the people that called for the use of this in the first place. So, like, it's kind of just, like, ruining the point. They're the ones that caused the injury, at least for the med kit that I showed, because that was for what to bring to a protest. In here, what else do I have? I have a blood pressure monitor. Again, you don't need to have all of this in here. This is just like me having fucking everything that I can inside of this bag. I have some scalpels, which you should not have if you don't know how to use one. Here's the other, here's the main other important thing that I think all of you should have, as well as a map, and these are water purification tablets. Now, these ones specifically are meant for 20 plus liters of water, and you could drop one of these tablets in it and make it drinkable. Damn, do people in the USA used to feel like this before 2 to 3 years ago? No, not really. Mostly just like right-wingers and their doomsday prepper like mentality, which ironically I am borrowing quite a lot of these tips from, and double ironically are not actually currently feeling that worried. Don't bring a brick to a gunfight. Well, I mean, don't show up to a gunfight for one. But you know, that would be my main advice: is just don't go to the gunfight. Yeah, but so rare? No, not really. The like natural disasters, phone lines being down, internet lines being down, stuff like that is happening more and more and more. And again, like this is more just like if you need to like if shit hits the fan, um run to the store and buy all of the lard that'll keep you alive for a long time. I mean, that also is a thing you can do. Speaking of stuff that you should probably be just reminded me of something. Accounting for beforehand. Jar filled with lint. Dryer lint. Now, why do I have a sealable jar filled with dryer lint? Well, it's because that make a great fire starter. And so, if you need to start a fire, yes, that's a decent fire starter. So, more sterile gauze, more adhesive wound dressing. A lot of the actual, like, bigger stuff is actually in this bag. And so, like, the med kit doesn't have all of the stuff. Here is a collapsible soft cast in case like someone has a broken arm or a broken leg. Here's another pressure bandage, as we've seen. More Mylar blankets, more tape, more bandages, more band-aids. Here I have the actual like razors for the God damn it, what did I call it? The scalpels. Which, again, you don't need to have scalpels if you don't have training in how to use them. You have a med degree or something? No, but I did go to pre-med for a bit. I don't have a degree in fucking anything. I dropped out of college. Fuck paying for university. I'm too smart for that shit. And then the actual cast. I do have first aid training, though. So, you know. At least at one point. Might not be current, up-to-date first aid training, but I do know how to use a lot of this stuff. Again, the water purification tablets is fucking crucial here, as well as the map beforehand. Now, then we get to some of the more fun stuff. And by fun stuff, I mean just like more, tools, rather. Switchblade. You know, you never know when you have to, maybe cut some plants. Let's say you're gathering stuff like herbs that might be used medicinally that you could put together into a poultice. You can help people with this. Well, I mean, that's what I'm trying to do. Natty, at the very least. Here I have a stainless steel, like, multi-use card pocket survival tool. This is like a can opener, a knife edge, a screwdriver, a ruler, a cap opener, 4-position wrench, a butterfly wrench, a saw blade, a directional ancillary indication, 2 position wrench, and a lanyard hole. Um, can't really think of many cases where I would actually need this, because I do have a lot of double ups in this bag, but the point of this bag specifically is to have double ups in that I could share with people if need be. Spare batteries, double A's and triple A's, as well as like multiple little hooks to add just like more carrying space to the bag or to pass out. And then finally, in the main pocket, we have our main flashlight. This is one that I quite like. So this one has a wide band, and also I can pull this and make it much more localized and condensed. Strobe, side light. This one I wouldn't use ever, because that's illegal. But you know, I can see instances where that might be useful, such as like not in any case where you're not trying to draw attention to yourself, for one. Like, let's say you have somebody injured and it's nighttime, you might put on the flashing cop lights hoping that a cop might stop and actually like ask you what's going on. Another one, a headlamp. Just you know, depends on where you are. You could put this on like this and just have a light on your head. Illegal? Isn't that SOS? Having police lights is not SOS in the United States. It actually just like is illegal, because you are then like, at least if you're in a vehicle, I don't know, if you're walking around in person, the cops might say that you're fine, but in this case, I mean, like, we're talking about, you know, the United States. The cops are not gonna say that you're fine just for fun. They want you to suffer. So the cops hate you and they take joy from your suffering. Here is a saw. This is essentially just like barbed wire in between 2 metal rings, and this is to, like, I don't know, cut open something that might need cut open, or cut through something that might need cutting through. I can't really think of any examples right now that I would need to use that, but I'm thinking like plants mostly. Here you got a whistle in case you need to draw attention to yourself, compass on it, as well as a thermometer. Now, compasses like can vary as well. Like, you're gonna want a compass that does magnetic north and true north. Now, that's like a whole other thing, but for the time being, most of that will do. So like, that's pretty much my med kit there. Sorry, not my med kit, my go bag there. The only additional thing that I would add in, as well as like the tablet that I would have normally in my Faraday bag, as well as like my documents, would probably be a drone. Now, if you don't know how to use a drone, I suggest that you buy a cheap, shitty one and you learn how to use these, because you can do a lot with a drone. And by you can do a lot with a drone, I mean, like, if you needed to go and find water, you can do so with a drone. If you needed to see if an area was safe, you could do so with a drone. If you wanted to see, let's say like, the reason that you're using your go bag isn't a natural disaster, but let's say you live somewhere like, I don't know, Los Angeles, and the protests are getting massive, and you want to see, I don't know, is it safe to walk outside of your house? Is it, you know, close to you? Are there police nearby? What's going on the street? Well, you could, you know, get one of these that has a camera on it. This one specifically doesn't, because I got this one for free, and I'm still learning how to fly a drone, which is much harder than it looks. But you can throw this one, you know, right out through the window and take a look around with your camera to see if it's safe to go outside. Or the scenario that, like, I personally think of more likely in that, like, let's say I need to go find fresh water. Let's say, like, I live in a drought area. And if there was a major storm, which there have been lately, and my power goes out, and let's say, I don't know, the storm is bad enough that it damages the pipes and sewage is leaking into the tap water, and so the tap water is unusable, and then I don't know, let's say a fucking lightning bolt hits my house and I need to leave. All right, let's just make it the most extreme. Well, one of the things I'm going to need to do is find a source of fresh water, because these water purification tablets that I only have 100 of them. They will only last for so long. So you're going to want to fly up, and you're going to want to look for fresh water. You're also going to want to be using that as a way to use, like, figure out where you are directionally at the same time. So all these things are useful in that case that you've pissed off a witch and she curses you. Exactly. Now, like, again, you don't have to have all of these things in your kit. You don't have to have access to all of them at once. That's okay. You can start where you're at and work up to it. And obviously, like, take what you need from that. And if you don't think that you need something in that, then don't add it to that. There's a lot more that I would love to have added to my kit, but obviously things cost money, and money is hard to come by. And honestly, like, the money that I'm getting, I'm not going to be spending on that right now. So also good to think about what an emergency scenario might look like for your pets. That's where I'm quite a bit more concerned on my personal behalf. But yes.